Guys, can I have a quick start to this and a confirmation so that we can proceed? Shailesh, Mithran, Samed.
Yes, we can proceed. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yours.
Thank you for the confirmation. Cool. So guys, see, before we understand how our applications, be it any applications in a daily life basis, be it Instagram, be it Amazon, be it let's say Uber Eats or any sort of an application. Well, all these applications that we are talking about, they all work in a similar manner. And before we understand about like applications, how exactly applications work, it is very important for us to understand what exactly is internet. Because I believe sometimes, we use internet, we have been using it since our childhood, I believe. And we've had a lot of usage of internet, but we've never had any sort of introspection of how exactly the internet works. So I believe it's first important to understand how internet works. So imagine in the world, initially, if there were, let's say, 4 to 5 computers, for example, in this image, if you can see, there's 3 and 7 computers over here. Now, if I talk about that, what exactly is an internet is that imagine in the early era when the internet just came into existence, what it was. It was just an interconnectivity of computers, nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. Like if there were 7 computers in the world, if all the 7 computers are connected to each other through wires and data can transfer between these computers, well, this concept was actually known as internet. Slowly, steadily, the computers became very common and they started getting used in almost all the households. And there came a need to join the computers again so that, all the computers of the world can share data amongst them easily rather than us having to to carry the floppy disk or the pen drive or the CD or stuff like that. So what happened is the huge organization called World Wide Web came into picture, and they said that all the computers of the world should be connected to each other with wires, literally wires. And that is when the dial-up network, the concept of dial-up network came in. And basically, in today's world, if I tell you what exactly is an internet is nothing but the concept, the phenomenon of all the computers of the world being connected to each other. That is all. You must be wondering, your phone also is connected to internet, but it does not have any wire connected to it, but it is connected to all the other computers of the internet because you can communicate with whichever computer you want through some protocols, through some rules and regulations, of course. Right. So you must be wondering, you must be arguing with me that how exactly does the internet work in the context of our phones when our phone is not at all connected through wires? Like, how many of you know the reason that I'm about to tell you, or how many of you know the fact that I'm about to tell you that your phone is actually connected with the entire world through wires itself? Nothing other than that. Not nothing other than that, but yeah, wires is the major connectivity through which our mobile is connected to the world. How many of you argue or did not get what I said? Okay, I believe you people know the fundamental of it. Perfect. Let's move forward. And you must be wondering, again, as I said, that how computers stay connected through wires when oceans surround the continents. Like, imagine if I want to connect with the computer of America, of the US, and well, I want that computer to be connected with my computer, and there's oceans between us. How exactly things are done in this context? Well, what happens is there are, if you see this website, there's a website called submarinecablemap.com. If you go to this website, well, web app is what I will call it. If you go over here, you'll get to know that yes, actually there are computers, there are fiber optic cables that are connected with each other, and these fiber optic cables are actually laid down under the seabed, on the seabed, actually, with tons of coatings around them to be able to make them weather resistant. And then again, what happens? Well, a fiber optic cable, or let's say a cable, an internet cable, goes from the seabed to another country. If it goes to another country, well, there are towers, there are there are machineries employed over there which emit those electrical signals that came through wire. Towers emit those signals in the form of electromagnetic waves, and those electromagnetic waves are caught by wireless devices like our computers or our, let's say, our laptops, or more specifically our phones. So this is how actually the internet is working. Now let's move forward and let's try to understand something as basic as soon as you type www.google.com, what exactly goes on beyond the scenes. Okay, so what happens is when you type www.google.com on your browser, well, a delivery man gets created. As soon as you hit enter after typing this in the URL bar, a delivery man gets created. Now, what is this delivery man, you argue and you ask? Well, it is electrical impulse. It's an electrical signal that gets created with some information with it. That is what I am referring to as the delivery man. Easy to remember, easy to understand. This delivery man, well, it goes with the help of the connection of internet, with the help through the, let's say, road, which is also known as internet. It goes to another place which has a server in it, and it goes to a place where there's a huge supercomputer kind of a place, and that supercomputer which exists actually has a lot of data in it. So again, as soon as you type google.com, a delivery man is created. With the help of the road of internet, it goes all the way to my bad, it goes all the way to the server. Which server? The server of Google. And that server has certain files in it. It goes over there, asks the server that, hey, server, I need certain files. Well, please give me certain files. And then what happens? Well, this delivery man is given certain files. It comes all the way back to the computer, gives those files to our browser. As soon as the delivery man gives the files to the browser, our browser reads those files, displays a beautiful page, because those files which the delivery man brought from the server were HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files, in which it was written that there should be Google font with a search bar, with Google Lens, with Google voice search bar, a voice search icon, and then there should be two buttons. At the bottom, there should be language stuff. All this information is basically written over there. Where is it written? It's written over there in the code which my delivery man was bringing. So, well, what did our Google server give to the delivery man in response? It gave some code which the delivery man brought to us. Browser read it, browser understood it, displayed the page accordingly. So this actually is known as request response cycle. Whenever you hit enter, whenever you type something, you hit enter, a delivery man knows that I have to go to this particular place and I have to get whatever I need to get, come back, and those files I have to deliver back to the browser. And as soon as we deliver that to the browser is going to understand those files because those are code files. So basically, this is how any website, any web app, in a very nutshell, works. Till here, guys, are we aligned? And is there anybody who has any questions? I'd like to, go with not a very fast pace, I believe, but I would go with without rushing. So are you comfortable with the pace, or do you want me to reduce it, increase it, or is it comfortable? Please vote for it. I would like to know from you guys. Okay, Samit, thank you. Shailesh, Mithran, comfortable with the pace? Okay, I believe they are not in the right environment to turn on their mics, but fine, no problem. Now then what happens is, what is full stack development? Let's try to understand this terminology. So full stack development means the process of creating the front end, the process of creating the backend server, and the backend server comprises of database, server, application, all these sorts of things. Now, again, something very heavy, right? Something very heavy is happening over here. From there, I jump to full stack development. Well, we'll understand that. Not now, steadily when we move to the next concept. That is when we are going to understand this. Let's move one step forward now. Well, about front end first, let's talk about front end. Front end, imagine if you have, let's say, Amazon website visible this way, then the Amazon website that you are able to see is actually built using certain code. That Amazon website is built using certain code. Okay, so in the background, what happens is whatever Amazon website you're able to see, actually that is built using code which is written in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, and maybe React, depending upon the architecture which Amazon wants to use. So this is how exactly the Amazon website is built. So whatever you can see, okay, let's first break down what is front end. Front end means anything and everything on the web app, that is the app on the browser, or the mobile app or the desktop app. Whatever you're able to see on the web app, desktop app, and mobile app, that is front end. What do you mean by web app? Any application on the browser, it's web app. What is mobile app? The mobile apps that we use, Android apps, iOS apps, stuff like that. What is desktop app? Any app, like let's say MS Office, to be very simple, to give a very simple example, MS Office. It's used on the desktop, so it's called a desktop application. So what is front end? In any application, whatever is visible to you, that visible part is called the front end of the browser. It's called the front end of the browser. Sorry, not browser, of the application. My bad. Now let's move forward. I believe you've understood what is front end now. Guys, are we aligned over here? Or does anybody have any questions? If you have any, please ask me.
No, sir, I'm good on this one. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the confirmation. Now let's move forward and let's try to understand. Well, why do we have different files? But because if the work is done by one single file, or if the work could be done by one single file to create the front end, why did we need different files at all? And the very reason is simple. Like the bricks don't make your home alone. Like the paint or the putty or the, let's say, plaster does not make your home alone. Neither does the light bulbs, nor the tables, chairs, and all the functional parts make your home alone. Similarly, we need separate entities, or let's say separate technologies, to build the separate parts of the front end. So front end can be imagined just like a human skeleton, a human body, I would say, not skeleton, human body, wherein the human body has a structure which is given by the skeleton, equivalent to the way bricks give a structure to our home, which is HTML. Now, if you have a structure for a home, fine enough, but that structure would look very obnoxious, very unpleasant, and it would look very disappointing. Okay, it won't look pleasing to the eyes. So to make our homes pleasing, what do? We put the plaster, we put all sorts of putties, and we put all sorts of paints, and we do beautiful interior. So this kind of decoration that is done on the web front end, on any application's front end. The tool that you require to do the decoration on the front end of any application is called CSS. And then you need another tool that is called JavaScript, JS. JavaScript, what it does, a home will not be a good home until and unless you have the buttons working, the door knobs working, etc., etc. So what is front end? Well, front end, I would say whatever is visible. HTML gives the shape, CSS beautifies it, and JavaScript makes things functional. For example, if you have the switchboard applied, if you have the bulb fitted in the bulb panel, but when you press the switch, the bulb does not turn on. The home is not a functional home, I would say. And to implement these functionalities, JavaScript is the technology, the tool that is used in the context of applications to make your applications functional. I know, I agree. Still, this concept is a bit unclear, and I have on purpose kept it unclear. All right, let's move forward and let's get a clarity on that. Let's say I have a blank browser and I'm talking about HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I'm explaining that. Okay. In the context of Google front end, Google search engine, or let's say www.google.com when you type that. Okay. When the delivery manager, or let's say, well, when the delivery agent came, if you remember in the first example, I spoke about that. The delivery agent came from the Google server, and it came from the Google server, brought something, and what it brought? HTML, CSS, JavaScript. When the delivery agent gives HTML to the browser, well, the browser looks this way. The architecture looks this way. As soon as that delivery agent gives the CSS file, that time the Google web page starts looking this way. More beautiful, more attractive, more pleasing, appealing to the eyes. Yes. Then, as soon as JavaScript enters the picture, things change. But until and unless JavaScript enters the picture, and imagine JavaScript is not loaded, only HTML, CSS is loaded. And on Google, well, you are typing like HTML is loaded, CSS is loaded, browser is showing you a beautiful home page. But if you start typing on the search bar, nothing is going to come in the form of drop down. If you hit enter, nothing's going to happen if JavaScript is not loaded. As soon as the JavaScript code enters this context, well, if you type something, drop down starts appearing. So can I say interactivity and functionality of the web page has been implemented through what? Exactly. Through your JavaScript. As simple as that. So, well, this is the reason why we require HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, three different entities for three different purposes. It's as simple as that, right? Now, let's take this concept, let's hold this concept and let's take it a little forward. But before that, again, I would ask for your confirmation if you people have completely understood these concepts. So far, so good, guys. Can you get a heads up if you don't mind? Okay, thank you for the confirmation, guys. I could see that. Let's move forward and let's go over here. Now, MERN stack. Well, basically, we've spoken about what is HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Now we're going to talk about MERN stack. Like, what is MERN stack again? So, MERN stack is basically that tool, the tool suite that you need to use for creating any full stack application. To create any full stack application, you need these tools, which are highly famous in the market, in global market actually. And these are the tools that you need to create any full stack application. Now, React requires prerequisite knowledge of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So if you were wondering that for creating a beautiful front end, HTML, CSS, JavaScript only are enough, then for building simple front ends, you can use HTML, CSS, JavaScript. But to build complicated and complex front ends, you have to use HTML, CSS, JavaScript along with React. Okay, this is it. And for creating backend, Well, in order to create backend of any application, you have to use MongoDB. My bad. You have to use MongoDB, Express, and Node. Now let's debunk the myth of MongoDB, Express, and Node.js. So you must be wondering, for front end only one tool technology is enough, and for backend we need all three other technologies. Well, yes, there's a reason to it, because backend is something which is a very vast concept. Let's move forward. What is backend again? Let's move forward. To understand any full stack application better, I want you people to understand this example. And we will first understand what is MERN. Okay, imagine you go to a beautiful restaurant. And imagine you want to go to a beautiful restaurant and you want to open a beautiful restaurant. Like, you went to a beautiful restaurant, you saw the architecture and everything, and you loved the restaurant, and you want to open your own restaurant. You hire the chefs, you hire amazing chefs, and maybe let's say you've got 5 to 6 friends of yours who are amazing chefs, and you have a very good business mindset. I believe there's an MBA student as well over here, Shailesh, right? Shailesh, you were the MBA guy over here. Who was it? Shailesh or Samir? I didn't catch properly. Shailesh, can you unmute yourself if you were the one? It's always better to catch someone and take the example through that. Okay, never mind. I will take the example of Shailesh now. I'm convinced with that. So imagine Shailesh wants to open a restaurant business. He's got amazing chefs with him, and he wants to open restaurant business in next 5 to 10 days. Now, if he wants to open restaurant business in next 5 to 10 days, well, there's a lot he needs to do. And imagine he has a basic infrastructure ready. But again, what he will have to do is he will have to bring the tables, he'll have to bring the chairs, he'll have to bring the sofas and cushions and cushion covers and lights and different kinds of TVs and cutlery and crockery. And he's going to have to bring all sorts of glasses, cutleries and crockeries and everything of that sort, right? But there's one thing. There's one more thing. He wants to bring everything for the restaurant, but he does not want to get things manufactured for him. He does not want a company to manufacture all these things for him and give him. He wants everything ready made. Now, if he wants something ready made, well, what he would do? He would just go to let's say a store where he can get all the ready made stuff. He would go to any let's say any store where he can get any store or any mall he will go to where he can get all the ready-made furniture and ready-made cutlery and crockery and everything, end-to-end solution store where he can get everything ready-made. He'll go to that store, he will bring those things, and he will set up his restaurant, the dining area of the restaurant, first of all. So this ready-made store, where he goes to create the very dining area, this ready-made store is equivalent to React. Yes. Why? Because the dining area of a restaurant is equivalent to the front end of any application. To create beautiful dining area, we want some store where we can get ready-made stuff. So what is React? React is again like a store which you can use for the sake of creating beautiful front end. And React is a store where you get ready-made stuff which you can pick out and you can put in your front end to make your front end look beautiful. And unlike this store, React is absolutely free of cost to use. So if you go to ChatGPT, if you go to Canva, if you go to Airbnb, all these web applications are actually using React in the backend. Not backend, in the background. I mean, they are using React in the front end. In the front end, as in their UIs, user interfaces are created using React. Okay, so restaurants dining area is equivalent to React. React's front end or any front end, I can say. So what exactly is an analogous thing? Dining area is analogous to the front end of any application. What is React? The ready-made store that you use to bring the ready-made stuff to decorate your dining area. React is just like a store which gives you ready-made stuff you can bring, create your front end. Now let's move forward. So this is what exactly React is like. Now moving forward, let's talk about restaurant has more to it, right? Restaurant doesn't stop at this point. No. What it has exactly? A kitchen, and it also has storeroom to it. Let's talk about the kitchen. What does the kitchen do? Well, Express is just like the kitchen. Not kitchen exactly. Like imagine any restaurant has a kitchen part as well. And if you people want to create a kitchen of a restaurant, what you will do, you'll go to a store where you can get again, where you can get ready-made stuff for the kitchen, specifically for the kitchen, be it knife, be it strainers, be it ladles, be it huge containers, be it chimneys, or be it gas stoves, or be it induction cookware, or whatever it is. Everything you will bring from ready-made store, and you will bring it and put it in place. So Express is just like a ready-made store, which you use to bring ready-made stuff free of cost and create your backend. So the backend of an application is equivalent to the restaurant's kitchen. So that is Express in simple words. But there's one more thing. And that is, if you know, that is the storeroom, right? Now, to manage the storeroom, there is one person, one or two people are employed to manage the storeroom. Okay. Because a storeroom can get messy at times. The stuff which is coming, the stuff which is coming from the vendors need to be put into the inventory in such a manner that whenever a chef comes searching for something, the manager of the storeroom is going to give to the chef whatever he or she needs, and they manage the storeroom effectively. So this person, along with the storeroom that we have in a kitchen, is equivalent to what MongoDB does in our case. So in M, MongoDB analogous to the manager, and it is analogous to the manager and the storeroom. M, E, Express is analogous to the kitchen. R, React is analogous to a shop that gives ready-made stuff for creating the front end. Express is analogous to a shop that gives ready-made stuff for the backend, that is the kitchen. And then we've spoken about MER, but N is still pending. So now you tell me, to make any restaurant functional, you need a dining area, you need kitchen, you need storeroom. But tell me, will you be able to process the stuff by bringing out from the storeroom, keeping it in the kitchen, and before it goes to the dining area, will you be able to process the stuff until and unless you have fire? No, right? We need heat to process whatever we have. And this heat is equivalent to what Node.js does in the context of our applications. What is Node.js exactly? It's the heat that processes the stuff that we have in the storeroom. And that process actually is implemented using let's say that heat is implemented using Node.js. And as soon as the stuff is processed, we are ready to serve it to the dining area. And this is actually how the entire MERN stack works. And now I told you what is MERN stack in as layman terms as possible, right? So guys, till here. Does anybody have any queries, questions, doubts? Please ask me. Samir, Mitran, Shailesh, any questions, queries, doubts? Okay. Did you understand everything till now that I thought?
Hi,
Guys,
Rahul.
hello.
Yep,
Hi,
Mamta
Mamta.
here.
Yes,
Hi,
Mamta.
hi.
Uh-huh.
Uh, can anyone unmute yourself and confirm? Hello. Hi, Samit, Mitran, Shailesh.
I guess the students are quite shy and intimidated to unmute it themselves.
They were interacting at the
Yeah, at
beginning,
the
na?
beginning. Exactly. Yes.
Um,
So, Shailesh, Mitran, Samir, well, I would love it to be a one-on-one conversation rather than me just speaking facts or explaining stuff. So please unmute yourselves and don't feel intimidated or afraid of anything. Can you have all of you unmuted?
hello, can you hear us?
Samit, are you there? In this case, Mamta, what did you want me to do? The ITTH slide is there. That's this is the next one.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you contact the students if you have their contact numbers and we can quickly confirm? Okay, guys. I'll continue from here then, and let me talk you through what ITTH is all about. Okay. So see, just a second. Well, ITTH is the largest group of, or the largest community of IT professionals in the UK that we have. And we've been providing trainings for over 15 years in the UK. And we have, let's say, qualified people of over 10 years of experience. So our office is located in Ilford, and it's a dedicated recruitment team that we have for the sake of recruitment as well after you have done your courses. And we have a huge community of recruiters as well, which help you to get jobs in the domains of your interest. Now, let's talk about our clients. You can see on the screen, and you must have heard the names of few of the clients over here in this context address and our success stories. So let's talk about it. Well, there's lots of students. These are the students which have been recently placed in their dream jobs and in these companies which are visible on your screen. And what makes us different? Let's talk about that. So we've got trainers with over 18 years of experience from the UK, the curriculum tailored according to the UK job market, and the research team keeps on researching and updating the content relevant to the era that we are in. And our content is highly researched and highly tailored for the UK job market specifically.
Rahul, can you
And
please share your screen?
yes, Mamta. Is it not
I
shared
guess
now?
you
I had
forgot.
shared it
No,
actually,
no,
but
no.
I guess it
Can't see.
got yeah, it got unshared in between, I believe.
Yeah,
Let me know if it's visible now.
not yet.
Okay, there you go. Is it visible?
Yeah, yes. Now it is.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Thank you for
Thank you,
confirming.
Rahul.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay, so I was talking about what makes us different. Well, basically, we have really good experienced teachers, and the curriculum keeps on getting updated depending upon the UK market's requirement. And we have, in the last month, if you ask, there's successfully 10 plus students that we have placed in the last month. And there's an exclusive job support program as well. So the course is going to be fine tuned and tailored according to the market of the UK, my bad. And we offer an exclusive job support program post your training. So after your training, your placements will be taken care by us as well. And we've got strong connections with top consultancies, top recruitment firms in the UK. So there's a dedicated recruitment team as well for this purpose. And you have tons of opportunities to work on live projects. So we will be not just training you for the courses, but we will also be training you with live project, and the recruitment part will also be there for helping you people to get your desired jobs in the UK. Now, we provide interview preparation sessions and grooming sessions as well. If whenever you have any sort of interview that's upcoming, and the training is absolutely going to be certification based. Now let's move forward in this context and talk about the job placement support. So other than courses, there's a job placement support wherein we help you to craft beautiful CVs and student work on real-time projects. The interview preparation, the grooming sessions are tailored for the candidates, and we help you, we support you also with the technical questions, technical assignments that are given to you these days by the companies. So we will be supporting you through that. There's going to be a training on latest technologies, and the placement assistance is also going to be comprehensive in nature. So you have to be 0% afraid of this context. Now let's move forward. How does the entire course work? Let me give you a brief on that. So the training that we do happens for 2 months, and after 2 months, we are going to have an assignment and assessment. Based on that, you will be put to the live project, depending upon how well you have performed in the training. So 1 month completely you will be working in the live project, and through live project, you get a practical knowledge of how exactly the stuff that you have learned in training is working towards building any product. So that is one of the reasons we believe in hands-on trainings, hands-on learning experience through live projects. So our projects that we are working on for the clients, for the industry, those projects you people will be working. So a great opportunity to hone your skills. Now let's move forward. As soon as assessment is done, job support service will be available, and you will be put in the live project. And let's talk about the job support service, the flow of it. Okay, we have a cascade that we follow. So you recruiter is gonna get jobs from the companies. Okay. Now a CV writer is going to help you to prepare beautiful CVs depending upon the job's requirements. Marketing agent is going to be applying for roles which are received from the recruiters for you people on your behalf, and the mentor is going to help you in the live project and also for the interview preparations and the grooming part. So Not just courses, but the job support service of ours is also very well known in the entire UK, and it is absolutely comprehensive, keeps on getting updated depending upon the current market requirements of the students and current market requirements of the recruiters as well as the students. That is how I would like to put it.